Hey, you made it here. You're at the Dray Way. Yeah, that's right. And I'm Drayton A. I am your host. And I appreciate you stopping by. Go ahead, fix yourself a bowl of cereal, a sandwich, whatever you got to do. Pull up a chair. I got a pretty good show today. I got some things that we need to talk about. So get comfortable. You're already here. You might as well stay and watch. And by the way, it doesn't hurt to hit the subscribe button. Yeah, it doesn't cost you anything. You can just subscribe and you can watch my nonsense every single day. How cool is that? But we got a good show today, so let's get started. Let's go! Welcome to the Dray Way. The Dray Way is brought to you in Las Vegas. Did you know that? Right behind me, this is technically Henderson, a suburb of Las Vegas, but yes, I live in Las Vegas. And I feel I have to talk about Las Vegas because if you take a look at the news, if you take a look at the press about Las Vegas, people are saying things that it's like, duh. Let me give you a perfect example. You see, Vegas is in the desert, okay? Vegas was brought to life in the 50s and 60s, and getting to Vegas was not easy, okay? Getting to Vegas was difficult. They had to do things to draw people here, okay? So there were a lot of things that took place all the way into the 80s and early 90s that were kind of left over from the 60s and 70s and stuff like that. You know, Vegas took some of the traditions and tried to run them as long as they could, but then, things just modernized. And what I'm trying to say is, because people go, well, I remember when there was $1.99 shrimp, and I remember when, I could go to the food court and I could eat for $3. Or I remember the buffet that was $7.95. I remember. I don't care. Okay? It's not the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s anymore. That was 40, 50 years ago. Say that again. That was 40, 50 years ago. Okay? Nobody cares. And people are now walking around going, you know what? Vegas isn't cheap. Vegas, it costs money to go to Vegas. Yes. If you don't have money, don't come to Vegas. Don't come. To be honest with you, we don't want you. Okay? If we're being honest, if you have no money, this is the wrong place to go. Okay? If you have money, congratulations. This is the right place to be. You can spend it here and have a whole lot of fun. All right? This is the news flash. I hope you're all sitting down. This is the news flash. Vegas isn't cheap anymore. Hasn't been for years. And guess what? It's never going to be. And if you don't like it, that's fine. It's not for you. That's all. Why don't you belong to the country club down the street? Why don't you belong there? How come you don't belong to a country club and play golf and all that? How come you don't belong? It's not your thing, right? Or you don't have the money. If you don't have the money to join the country club, it's not for you. You know who it's for? People with the money. Yeah. And that's what Vegas is for. And believe me, there are lots of people with lots of money. And if you're not one of them and you're looking for a bargain, don't come to Vegas. Okay? But if you've saved a little bit of money and you want to be naughty and a little bad and party a little too much, Vegas is your spot. Yeah. The days of, because I can remember like it was yesterday. I would grab my towel, head down to the pool. You didn't even get a towel when you were down there. You brought your room towel down with you and grabbed a chair. It cost nothing. Yeah, years ago, you used to go to the pool, and the only thing it cost you was whatever the cocktail server served you for lunch. That was it, you know. But now you can go to the pool and you can spend thousands of dollars going to the pool. Yeah, just to go to the pool and have a cabana. Yeah, you can spend thousands of dollars easily. Whereas back in the 80s, we used to just grab a towel and head down. You know, you'd get back into your room. See, I always had a rule back in the day. I had a very simple rule in Vegas because, you know, we used to do Vegas for 3 or 4 days and you'd hardly sleep. But I had a rule. I had to be back in my room before the sun came up. That's it. That was my only rule, you know, and I used to get back, you know, 4 or 5 in the morning, and I used to plop down, you know, and the pool wouldn't open till 10 o'clock. So I would get home at 5. The pool would open at 10, so I'd get myself up, go down to the pool, and just plop down again. And then at 12 o'clock, the waitress would walk over and, can I get you some lunch? Can I get you something to drink? And I'd be like, oh, absolutely, absolutely. And the next day, the same thing. Come home at 5, get up at 10, drag my butt to the pool. The waitress would walk over. Can I get you something? Absolutely. And some food, please. You know. So yeah, it was kind of rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That's what you did back in the day. But Vegas isn't like that anymore. Vegas now, like I said, at the pool, you can spend a fortune at the pool. My buddy was here at the Wynn. Just how about this? His pool bill. Do you know what his bill was? I want you to guess. He was here for 3 days. How much did he spend at the pool? He had a cabana at the Wynn 3 days. How much do you think he spent? Take a guess. 3 days at the pool in his own cabana. Yeah, $9,500. 3 days, cabana at the pool, $9,500 including tip. Yeah. So when I tell you Vegas is for people with money now, and that doesn't mean you can't come to Vegas and enjoy yourself with a couple $1,000s, because you still can. You can come to Vegas with a couple $1,000s and still have fun. But you're going to come to Vegas with a couple of $100s and have fun? Yeah, probably not. That's probably not a thing. You know, you got to bring at least $1,500, $2,000 to have a good time in Vegas now. And if you don't have it, that's fine. Vegas is not for you anymore. Yeah. So I don't know when the last time you were in Vegas, but, you know, I wish people would stop writing all those articles. Vegas just is not an affordable place. No, no, it's not, because we have transportation now. We have planes. I don't know if you've ever seen the planes coming into Vegas, but it looks like a conga line, all right? Literally, planes are landing every 4 minutes. So you'll look off in the distance in the sky, and you'll see this almost a white line of just one plane after another, getting ready to just every 4 minutes, every 6 minutes, boom, 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 landing down. And people are coming here from all over the world, and they're coming here not because it's cheap or inexpensive. They're coming here to have a really great adult fun time. And that's what Vegas is still for. But yeah, the Vegas of the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, it's gone. It's not coming back. So just stop complaining. Just come here, have a good time, be a little decadent, and yeah, build some memories. Let me know what you think in the comments. Welcome to the Dray Way. I'm glad you're here. We got more to talk about. Don't go anywhere. I feel compelled to talk about Elon Musk and what a complete, utter loser this man is. I don't know what that was in the Oval Office, but that's a guy on drugs geeking out. I don't care what anybody says. That's a guy on drugs geeking out in the Oval Office for everyone to see. It was ridiculously obvious. And so here, for the last 4 months, we've had a really old man, 79 years old, that just has no clue to what he's doing, throwing around tariffs, just doing as much damage as he possibly can do, with another guy that is clearly a drug addict, straight out drug addict. Let's call it what it is. Elon Musk is a drug addict, period. I don't care how successful he was or is or what he's done over the last 10, 20 years. Right now, he's a drug addict, plain and simple. And that display in the Oval Office was gross and disgusting. And that man has no business being anywhere near the White House. Has everybody gone freaking mad? Is everybody out of their gourd? You got some old man sitting there spouting complete nonsense with some guy on drugs going, what are we doing? What? I mean, I'm sorry, folks, but this has just gotten out of hand. We're supposed to listen to anything a drug addict has to say? We're supposed to follow his recommendations when he's busy dropping ketamine or whatever he's on for the day? And we have to sit there and watch it, and we have to sit there and go, this person has sway with what happens with tens of thousands of workers? This guy had a say? This drug addict? Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't even know. How do you defend this? How do you sit there and go, how do you defend this? As a Republican, what are you looking at? What are you doing? As a human being, forget Republican, as a human being, how do you not look at that and just be like, what the F? Because I know I watched that video 5 times. And I'm like, how is this permissible? How is this okay? The guy's all strung out on drugs, can barely function, can barely just stand there without making weird ass faces and rolling his balls off. And we as Americans are watching this nonsense? Yeah, it's just absolutely awful. And it tells me that we have a White House that is totally out of control. There are no adults in that building whatsoever, because Elon Musk should not have been in that room. Elon Musk should be nowhere near the president. We now put drug addicts that are actively on drugs next to the president. That's not a security risk. That's not a security risk, having somebody all drugged out next to the president. Let me know what you think in the comments. Am I missing something? Let me know in the comments. Were you disgusted or not? Because I was. Let me know in the comments. Don't go anywhere. I got a final thought. Don't go anywhere. Now that summer is upon us, I'm going to give you my summer spiel. I've gone through chemo on my face 3 times. I've gone through surgery on my face 5 times. As many of you know, I wear a hat, and everybody thinks, oh, you wear a hat because you're bald. I could care less about my hair. What I have marks on my head that the doctor said, may have to be removed if you don't protect your scalp, protect your head. And I've already gotten 160 some stitches in my face. So, being that I live in a state with sunshine all the time and I can't always see on top of my head, I wear a cover to protect my head. Like I said, I've had 5 surgeries in my face to remove, cancer. I've gone through chemo 3 times. I mention this and I talk about this because in summertime, it's no joke. You got to protect your kids. You got to protect yourself. The little iron oxide, the zinc oxide, the zinc oxide that you use is just pure zinc oxide is the best thing to use that I have found. Pure, I don't use all those lotions and all that goofy stuff. Zinc oxide works as well as I don't. In fact, I don't know of anything that works better. But it's important that you protect your skin this summer. And it's important because you don't want to go through what I've gone through. And you certainly don't want to go through the surgeries. And I can tell you right now, the chemo is awful. Yeah. By the third week, all you want to do is just throw up. Yeah. So, and it's toxic and it goes on. I don't know if I've ever told you the story. The first time I had the I had the chemo, it's a chemo cream is what it is. And it's toxic as hell. And the first time I ever had it, a person try to apply it to my face was my doctor. And she came in a hazmat suit. She came in with all this protection and this tray and was shaking as she was about to dab, her finger with a glove on into this toxic goo to put on my face. And she was shaking, And I looked at her and I said, Doc. And she's like, yeah. I said, put it down. And she goes, what? I said, put the stuff down. I will put it on my face. You're freaking me out. And she goes, well, I'm pregnant, so I can't get any of this on me. I said, Doc, put it down. It goes on my face. I'll do it. Relax. And she's like, oh, okay, good. Okay, good. And I proceeded to put it all over my face, and you talk about awful. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. But I'll show you some pictures of what my face looked like after my first chemo. Yeah, it's a gruesome sight. It's an absolutely gruesome sight. So hopefully you've never had to do it because it's no fun whatsoever. From what I understand, the chemo creams have gotten better. Maybe some of them don't get you as sick as the first ones did, but I can remember the first one. From the third day on or fourth day on, you just feel like you have the flu every day, and that's never any fun. But anyway, my whole point is, it's summertime. Please protect yourself. From my vast experience, please listen to me when I say, protect your children, protect yourself. The sun is not your friend. And that's it for the Dray Way today. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you hit the subscribe button. I'd like to see you again tomorrow and the next day and the next day and the next day. Because yes, there's a new Dray Way each and every day. And guess what? If you're here, I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.